Good morning. I'm just waiting at the lobby here at the apartment tower, waiting for my Grab car to arrive, and off we go to discover the city of Bandung today. See you up the mountain. Speeding through the city center of Bandung to get up the mountain. My driver is driving even 80 kilometers through the city center, where you normally can only drive 10, 15 during the day because it's so much traffic. It's only 5 in the morning, so the streets are still pretty empty. So we're getting through the city really quick. Yesterday we took the same road up the mountain here, I went up there with my wife, the children and her family, and we could barely move up the mountain here. It's like packed with cars, so the ride for 22 kilometers took us longer than 2 hours. And this morning, we're just speeding up the mountain, driving 60, 70, 80, whatever kind of goes. And I think we're gonna be there like in 22 minutes. We just need another 4 or 5 minutes and we're there. What a difference when you get up early and just avoid the whole rush hour and the traffic later during the day. This was my driver, and off he goes into the night, speeding up and down the roads here in Bandung. Really good driver, I have to say. Anyway, thanks a lot, and I'm gonna go down this way again. Terima kasih. The reason I'm starting my trip through Bandung so early this morning, it's only 5:30, so we literally really needed only less than half an hour for these 22 kilometers, which is pretty amazing for the road conditions here in Indonesia. So we're starting up here at this hotel. This is pretty much the northernmost point of all of Bandung, and I have around 30 kilometers to walk through Bandung today, so I just want to have a really early start this morning because Bandung is more prone to rain because it's up, like surrounded by volcanoes, so there's a very good chance there's rain at any time during the day because it just kind of builds up here at these volcanoes, more clouds, and so better I start as early as possible and have more time, especially here on the slopes of the volcano. It could be raining even now. It's cloudy. That's the first light at all. So let's get started down the mountain into Bandung. This whole area around this main road up the volcano is just packed with hotels, apartments, I don't know, rooms to rent, whatever, restaurants. It's a really major tourist destination for the people of Jakarta. So every weekend this whole place here is packed. There's like so many hotels, like more than probably any city here in Indonesia. It's just like tourist magnet, but not for foreign tourists. It's mostly people from Jakarta, like local tourists, just like driving 3 hours from Jakarta and you're out here in Bandung. There's theme parks, there's like many things here to do, to see for the people of Jakarta who have money to spend, come here to eat something, spend the weekend with their family, see something different, enjoy the cooler weather here of Bandung and the volcanoes around. there it even says Selamat datang di Kota Bandung. So welcome to the city of Bandung. I just peeked into a side road here on the slopes of the volcano. So the volcano is like up there. You can't see it now because it's in the clouds. Basically everywhere here on Java Island, all these volcanoes are so fertile that people they make terraces. It's going up and down the hills here into the valley. So what we have here, I think, is cauliflower. I think you can even see it. So there's like a lot of farming here. They use all the land for farming. This is where the majority of all food comes from. In the plains and the valleys, like lowlands, there's more rice farming. Here it's more cabbage, tomatoes, cauliflower, broccoli, carrots, a lot of onions, strawberries, I don't know, all that stuff. So most of the vegetables would come from these terraces. Potatoes, I guess, up on the mountain too. And so this is why these hills, they're so heavily populated, and one of the reasons Java is the most populated island in the whole world. I think something like 160 million people live on, actually compared, on a tiny island, and it's all because of these fertile volcanoes and the land here. If you compare it to Borneo, Borneo is much bigger than Java, but has only like just a small portion of the population of here of Java. It all is because of these fertile volcanoes and the land around here. So even the rooster is awake and calling to start the day. The really nice thing about starting so early is you just have empty streets, not too much traffic, and just you can choose where to go in these winding roads. You can just walk up and down the roads. No motorcycles, almost nobody, just people getting up, starting their day. Selamat pagi. Just taking a shortcut here from the main road. Selamat pagi.
Hello.
So it's not even 6 in the morning. Selamat pagi.
Morning.
And people are selling some stuff already. Must be breakfast. Selamat pagi. First shops opening. People are up here very early. I guess at least if you're not living in the city and you have, I don't know, different jobs to do, but the traditional villages here and people farming, and that's what they have to do. Get up early, do their work, maybe rest at some point when it's too hot, and then use the sunlight of the day. One thing I'm noticing, there's many cyclists going up this mountain in the morning. It's 6:20, and I guess the roads are still not too packed, so it's a good time of the day for them to go do their exercise. But it's so loud on these roads, that's crazy. Anyways, it's like a small Tour de France here. Just look at this little Daihatsu van. It's crazy. Full of metal. I think none of the windows is old. It's all just a chain tied with some ropes. I wonder if it's even working. Look at inside. You guys think this could be working? I don't know. But again, it's parked on the road here, and it has some plates. wouldn't be surprised because people make it work. Morning traffic here in Bandung, in this busy intersection. We're kind of getting closer to the city center, so it's going to be soon a little bit flat on the plain, but it's still here up on the mountain. We're just crossing the Cikapundung River. This is the biggest river here in Bandung, and it's dividing it into two parts. And it's also the main source of water supply here in Bandung. But it's kind of heavily polluted too. You see some garbage down there, and polluted with all kinds of stuff like human feces, pollution from agriculture, industry waste, and yeah, that's just kind of too bad how people deal here with the rivers, canals and everything. If you get the water from this river, you should be taking care of this river. This is quite funny. I don't know if you can see, this guy for his coffee shop has like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 same signs for Canon Image Runner digital copier. And then Epson and Toshiba. That's quite something to put that many signs, and they all say the same. I guess can't miss it. So I kind of took this route. I wanted to go inside here. There's some monument for the struggle of the people of West Java. So their struggle for the independence of Indonesia. I guess it's for the heroes of West Java, mostly the Sundanese people. But for some reason, it's like with most of the things here in Indonesia, this is all locked up, all the gates, and I don't know where the entrance is. Might be like from the north side, might be on the other side, might be all the way down south. Who knows? There's never a sign like to say which way the entrance, or might be, but it's covered then with all these tents and stuff on the sidewalk, so it's hard to. But it's closed off anyways. It's there's a fence all around. There's a second fence here, so I think you can go inside anyways. Kind of wanted to go up there and see what it says and have a nice view, kind of down the hill, down the slope onto the city, but I guess maybe not, just because like I say, everything is so difficult here, and then I won't do the extra trouble to go find the entrance. So oh well, speaking of the entrance, it's just hidden here between these. See, sometimes it's just quicker than you think. But still, it's just kind of hidden between these two. Anyways, this is just no sign, nothing. You just kind of enter. Garbage everywhere. It's like a national monument, and then still people just trash everything, and it's just yeah, not really well taken care of, kept nicely. There's another gate down there. I hope I can get through there. And yeah, this must have been a nice monument when they first built it. Probably a lot of people coming visiting. So you see the monument from down here. It looks actually nice. It's all like white. The Indonesian Garuda, the national eagle up in the middle, but I think you can't enter here anyways. So where we're heading is Gedung Sate. It's the government seat of West Java, so let's head down there. But I think it's mostly people use it here for playing with their kids, maybe some jogging, because it's just a lot of free empty space here in the city, and not really used as I think it was initially planned. I remember back in Yugoslavia, or when I was a child, when I was born, this whole communist thing, there were these national monuments everywhere, and then children and people, they would like get on buses and go visit all these monuments and learn about the communist history of their countries. And I can imagine that this was the same here in Indonesia. Like people would be coming here in masses with buses, and like there would be thousands of people visiting this monument back in the day. But now I guess like a lot of these communist countries too, they just kind of get forgotten, abandoned, and not well taken care of. So I want to go inside here, kind of see if I can walk through here. But this you can see, if you want to cross here, there's a big gap here. It's quite deep actually. It's probably up to, I don't know, 1.50 meters. So you have to step over, but it's a big hazard. If you were in Europe, this would not be allowed. Like a kid could just like fall inside easily, but here it's just like this whole thing in despair. This must have been a nice fountain, and now this kind of place where people can throw their garbage, where rats drown, I guess because they can't get out here once they're in the water. I don't know. That's just everything is yeah, I kind of expected much more of this place just because it would be something of national importance. It's April the 25th, 2023, and I'm walking through this what should be a beautiful park here in Bandung, with a national monument in the back here, the monument for the struggle of the Sundanese people. And we are in Bandung. Bandung is the capital of West Java, and West Java is home to the Sundanese people mostly. This is where the majority of the Sundanese people live here. There's 50 million of them, and they are, after the Javanese people, I think there's more than 100 million of them. They are the second biggest ethnic group here in Indonesia. And Bandung is the capital city of West Java, like their home province. And Bandung has 2.4 million people. It used to be the third biggest city in all of Indonesia, and here on Java Island, just after Jakarta and Surabaya. But now it got surpassed by Bekasi in the same province here, just next to Jakarta. I made a video last week about it. And I want to tell you a little bit here about Bandung and this province. It's kind of crazy about the population here. It's the size of West Java, so it's only a province here in Indonesia, is like 37,000 square kilometers. When you compare it, like in the world, with the other countries in the world, it will be somewhere similar, like with Taiwan, slightly smaller than Switzerland and Netherlands in Europe. Which is funny because the Dutch ruled over Indonesia for a long time, so we can compare it with the Netherlands. They have 50 million people living here in the province, and some of you guys might know that the Netherlands are quite heavy populated in Europe. In terms of population, there's like 500 people on a square kilometer. About 15 million people live in the Netherlands. So we have here more than 1,300 people living on a square kilometer on such a tiny space, which is kind of crazy because if West Java, so this little province, it doesn't even take up a third of space here in on the island of Java. In world terms, if it was an independent country, it would be even in front of Spain. It's just kind of unbelievable, because Spain is more than, I don't know, 12 times bigger than West Java here. So it just kind of blows my mind. Well, I know that Java is the heaviest populated island in the world, but still, it's just kind of, when you compare this to like other places, it's just kind of really crazy. Because, for example, the Netherlands are so flat, and you have space to build all these cities, and then you get West Java with all these volcanoes, mountains, forests, and still they have so many people living here. Just really crazy. So as far as I can see, the closer we're getting down here to the seat of the government here in West Java, there's another monument here, and as much as I understand, it's a monument to the pandemic of COVID-19 here in West Java, Java Barat, West Java. So the mass crisis of the pandemic. And I think I was wondering before when I was passing by here, there's all these names here of people on this wall, and I'm not quite sure, but I think it's has something to do with the pandemic. All these names. I don't know if all these people died from COVID, but still doesn't seem like to be that many names. Must have been more, but I don't know, or if it's just like some more rich people. I have no clue. Maybe some of you guys know about this monument of the pandemic here in Bandung. Just let me know if you know the real story. So this is interesting. As we're getting close to the Gedung Sate, the government building, there's a running field here for people who want to go jogging. So that's a way to do it. You don't have to go on this kind of city road and the bad conditions on the sidewalk or on the road. So you can just be running here. So it feels like a lot of people are actually coming to jog here on this. It's really funny, this whole complex here, this whole park here. So I entered up from the north side, but even here at the south side, there's everywhere these roads not to enter, but people are just crossing anyway, so I don't know why it's not even open. Why is it closed? Sometimes things in Indonesia are kind of like, you don't understand it. If they don't want anybody to be there, why there's no security guards? You can see it even back there. Like there's security guards everywhere standing, and then everything is closed, but you still enter. So, crazy. So this is Gedung Sate, the Dutch government building from the 1920s. I think it was built in 1924 and was the building for the Dutch government here. They chose Bandung because Bandung has this nice climate. It's much cooler than in Jakarta, and so they like to be here. After Indonesia gained independence, after the Second World War, this became the government building or seat of West Java, and Bandung as its capital city. Everybody loves to come here and take a picture with the building. It's quite famous, I think, all over Indonesia, and Bandung is a famous city here with a lot of history, rich history in Indonesian, like part of the Indonesian history, and you're gonna see later even in the world's history, Bandung has its place. So many people here, I don't see any Westerners, it's mostly Indonesians coming, taking pictures here, enjoying the walk in the city. There's many horses, like this mini sightseeing buses going through the city. Well, you know me, I'm just walking. Want to see as much as I can. I'm gonna take all the transport modes. Just gonna walk through the city and enjoy the day. And nobody's hustling me, nobody asking for anything. So more chill than I expected.
Kopi apa?
Satu kopi panas.
Kopi panas. Kopi apa? Ini
ada Indo Cafe.
Indo Cafe ada.
Mix.
Nih,
Ada.
Ya.
Ada. Terima kasih.
Ya.
Well, this is how I like to do it. if I can find just the guy selling some coffee, I know, support him, give him some extra money, because normally it costs about 5,000 rupiah, and I give them a little bit more so they can have something for themselves, so they can earn something. Just put the powder in the glass or in the plastic. Yeah. Some hot water, coffee and cigarettes. That's what you can sell in Indonesia. Terima kasih.
Yeah.
It's always funny that everybody wants to talk to me. People just keep on talking. I kind of understand a little bit. They ask me where I'm from, they ask me what I'm doing. They kind of tell me what to do, what to see here in Bandung. I don't want to see every tourist site. I just kind of make my way through the city, and yeah. But this nice old man here, he's Sundanese. I asked him, and like the majority of people here in Java, like whether it's Sundanese, Javanese, Maduranese, it's mostly Muslim people, and he even has Quran here in the box. He's selling his stuff, but he sells his Quran, like mostly Muslim people. Yeah. Well, it's too bad my Indonesian is not as good, even though I do understand him a little bit. I don't know if he's speaking Sundanese or Bahasa Indonesia, like the Indonesian national language. This is what everybody is learning at school, but then people here, everybody has its own language. Basically, I think all over throughout Indonesia, everybody is speaking like another language. It's Sundanese, Javanese, Maduranese, I don't know, Balinese. They have their own languages. I think there's like probably more than 700 languages here in Indonesia. So they have to have one language where they can, like, if they come to visit here or do any business or something, they have to have one language where they can talk to each other. So basically Bahasa Indonesia is, I don't know if it's a made up language, like something similar to Sundanese and Javanese, but this is what everybody has to learn. And then here in West Java, people have to learn Sundanese at school. So it's something like what's their native language, and it should not be forgotten. So not just to learn Bahasa Indonesia, they all learn Sundanese. I asked my wife yesterday when we were at the restaurant, like if she can understand everything. She said she learned Sundanese when she was a child at school, because Bekasi is in West Java, but she doesn't like really speak Sundanese. Because she's like close to Jakarta and they speak Bahasa. But it's just interesting, and then they can clearly tell that everybody's speaking Sundanese and not Bahasa, so I can assume that this old man would be speaking Sundanese. Then maybe it makes it even more difficult for me to understand more, but it's it's kind of interesting to talk to locals. They're talking whatever it is, Sundanese, Indonesian to me. I understand a little bit, I understand what they want from me. I can only answer that much in Indonesian and the rest in English, but we still kind of have some kind of conversation. It's just fun. Let's take a back road finally. Bandung is not this, I don't know, it's I guess a little bit more modern than Jakarta, so we kind of hardly have any back roads, and this small kampongs where I could cross through, which makes it a little bit more interesting to talk to people, see like how people live. But Bandung is just set up this way that all these neighborhoods are cut off, because up there on the hill it's you don't get a connection between the main roads, and all these neighborhoods are cut off, so really hard to get any other route than just these main roads through the city. Seems like the main pedestrian street here. Many people. Oh yeah, I tried this one yesterday. Busy street. Selling some arts here, mostly. There's Bandung in the old day. Might have been inside. It's cool painting. I like it.
Hello.
Hey. We are here on Jalan Braga. Down there is Sundanis Mills, the name of the road. And this here is kind of the main pedestrian street and the main street through the old town of Bandung, which there are many colonial buildings up here, across there. Just a second. And a lot of buildings on this road going down the center here in a European style architecture. That's why Bandung got its name Paris van Java, because of all the European architecture around here, the colonial style architecture. You know what? I'm hungry and I just noticed there's Yoshinoya here. I know this place from Japan when I used to travel through Japan for almost 2 months. I used to eat there quite often because it was cheap and actually delicious. So let's check out Yoshinoya here in Bandung. Like I'm in Japan. So let's check out the food. I think I paid around €6. So that's even more expensive than Japan. I got a bigger portion. Let's check out the food and see how it tastes. So that's my double beef portion from Yoshinoya. But it's really not as cheap as I thought it would be, because in Japan it was one of the cheapest foods you could get. And here, for almost 100,000 rupiah, I guess you can go out and eat with 3 people with some like local dishes here in Indonesia. But I actually haven't had Yoshinoya in a long time, so it's just something I miss. It's just for the sake of the memories from Japan back then. So let's just try it. Yeah, same like in Japan. Delicious. I have to tell you a story. When I was young, I could not eat anything, almost anything, without bread. Even when I ordered my first Asian food in Croatia, when I lived back in Croatia, I asked the guy at this Chinese restaurant to bring me some bread, and he said, sorry, this is a Chinese place, we don't serve bread, we don't have bread. So I kind of ran around the block to find a bakery, got myself a bun, went back to the restaurant and ate my food. So Japan, this was 13 years ago, this is how I learned to eat food without bread. It was at Yoshinoya, eating this food with rice. There's rice underneath, but I just ordered another bowl of plain rice, so I kind of then had rice instead of bread going along with this beef and rice. So that's how I got used to Asian food. This was my first time in Asia back then, and Yoshinoya is the place where I learned to eat no bread with my food. So this is, I spent a lot of time in Asia later, so now I don't have to eat bread, and I guess it's good because otherwise I would be much bigger and more fat than I am now. But yeah, so a lot of memories with Yoshinoya. I'm still here in Braga Street, and this building here might be one of the most important, I don't know if it's just in Bandung, but maybe even in all of Indonesia. So this is where the 1955 Bandung Asia-Africa Conference was held. There were 29 countries participating, and most of them were like brand new countries, just released into independence from their colonial mother countries from Europe. So they kind of signed a pact, whatever, of cooperation between them, which later led to the movement of non-allied. So countries which were in the Cold War, not like tied with the NATO, not tied with the Warsaw Pact. So they were kind of like neutral. And the United States were a little bit worried when they signed this cooperation here, because they were a little bit worried that they would be strongly opposed to their like colonial mother countries in Europe, and maybe be more influenced by China. But still, it was a good thing that some countries were trying to be neutral instead of in the Cold War just more weapons, and with all the nuclear threat. And so I guess this, in my opinion, was good. And one part which was kind of has a little bit history with Yugoslavia too. In Yugoslavia back then was where I was born in 1984, and in Yugoslavia I think in the 60s they had a private conference in Cairo and one in Belgrade, which Yugoslavia was part of, Josip Broz Tito. So it's kind of like a history of Yugoslavia, Indonesia here together. It's kind of interesting that these countries were cooperating back then, and it's interesting to be here. Interesting to be here in this place. These colonial buildings, now Starbucks inside here. Just across here, this used to be some Dutch government or something. No, more like import, export, some kind of Dutch building. So this is like the real city center. Let's cross the street. Very busy here, many tourists here. There we see it again, Jalan Braga, with the Sundanese letters underneath, and all the flags, many countries. And this here, very busy street down here. Oh my god, it's so busy down here in the center, it's so crazy. I think this road is called Asia Africa because of the conference, and just I don't know what's going on today. It's just crazy many people. Hello. So many guys masked with something. That's why I think there's many kids coming out here. I don't know if this is every day or just today. I have no clue. No clue. Where I want to go is across the street to the big mosque of Bandung, but let's see where we can cross. The globe and the Asia Africa monument here in the city center of Bandung. So many people taking pictures here. Nedhandel, Dutch buildings. It's a very historic center of Bandung. We take a horse ride. Let's go check out the mosque, just because we are close to here, and then I'm gonna be heading the other way. Okay, let me see where we can even enter. Might be from down there, I have no clue. This place is called, I think, Alun-Alun something. It's kind of just where people hang out together. It's a big green space, and here just people selling food, meeting, eating, I don't know, a lot of stuff. Still don't know where the entrance is. Well, I guess now you can eat officially and drink during the day. Ramadan is over, so people are just happy to be out again. Just eat, drink, whatever you want, and enjoy meeting up with your friends. So crazy, so many people. So this place is basically, I don't know, just to hang out with your kids, running around, playing soccer, I don't know. Oh my god, that's so crazy. So many people out here in front of the Grand Mosque in Bandung. With this green space, public space here. So many people. It's kind of scary to get through the masses of people down here, like they're waiting for the sightseeing, the tour buses, and hello. Mr. Always Mr. These sightseeing buses, they are stopping here, so there's people lined up everywhere. So crazy, so crazy.